What's up, everybody? Welcome to Initial Reaction. My name is Philip.
I'm Charles.
And it's the moment we've all been waiting for, the billionaire versus the illegal alien.
And if you've been watching Donald Trump versus Ted Cruz, you know what we're talking about.
Is it really surprising that the most powerful man in the world should be a figure of controversy?
We, as a population on this planet, have been looking for a savior.
We're talking about a being whose very existence
They are not telling us the truth.
challenges our own sense of priority in the universe.
Human beings have a horrible track record of
Tragedy.
following people of great
Power
power.
corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Maybe he's just a guy trying to do the right
We
thing.
know better now, don't we? Devils don't come from hell beneath us.
They brought their warrior.
No, they come from the sky.
The world has been so caught up with what he can do that no one has asked what he should do.
All right, so obviously this week is Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice. It is the sequel to Man of Steel, kind of, but it's definitely to kick off the DC universe, trying to compete with Disney and Marvel's universe of superheroes. What did you think? Initial reaction?
I loved it,
Yeah?
but I went in going to love it, I think. And I think the same thing would happen if somebody went in wanting to hate it. They could poke holes in it and say that they hated it.
Yeah, I went in wanting to love it a lot. I've been looking forward to it. I feel like we've been building to this thing for like 2 solid years now.
Right.
But so I was kind of worried a little bit, but I don't get it. I don't get the amount of hate that it's
I
getting.
don't either.
Because it's, if nothing at all, it's entertaining.
Right, and it's mostly critic. I mean, if you saw Twitter explode, the
Right.
best, everyone from that, like from the
The Monday
fans
night
and like
fan screenings,
the
yeah.
lower half of America, not critics and from the New Yorker and stuff like that. They're like, this holds no artistic value, blah 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 blah.
Which
like
is
that.
kind of crazy because it looks gorgeous.
Right, and I feel like it has more artistic value than say anything in the Marvel Cinematic Universe
Even-
because they're so formulaic.
At this
you're
point,
going to get
yeah.
something every time. Zack Snyder said that
Just-
with this DC universe, he wants each movie to be a different experience.
Yeah.
And so I think with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they're all so the same that you expect. I mean, you saw how many people were waiting after the credits to see if there was an end credit scene.
Right.
That's a Marvel thing.
And I mean, they cheered when Wonder Woman came on. At
Right.
the end, I think, like you said, they stayed seated. They were waiting.
Right.
I got the general vibe that most people enjoyed it.
Right.
So general audience reaction, I think, is gonna differ a lot from
Right.
what the critics are saying.
Because most of that stuff was it's not there's no humor. It's all dark. Well, that's the story they're trying to tell.
It made me want to see Wonder Woman next summer.
Right.
It made me want to see Justice League Part 1 next November. Like, I'm looking forward to them now.
And there's been so much hate that he's had to like publicly address stuff.
Yeah.
Like, what about the death toll in Man of Steel? And he's like, okay, let's just settle this. You realize they just destroyed 4 whole planets in Star Wars, and everyone loved
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean? Like, that's
Well, and he's not-
whole 4 planets full of millions of living beings.
Yeah, and he's
So
keeping
like,
it grounded.
He's like, come on, you know what I mean? Like,
And he's keeping it like they obviously, Superman's an alien, but they want to keep this as reality based as possible. It seems like with the dark and the gritty tone and all that
Right.
good stuff. But and in doing that, you don't live in an ideal world where Superman can, kill an alien and then at the same time save everybody that's going to be in the path of that bad alien.
or see Batman do things that your ideal Batman doesn't.
Yeah, Ben Affleck is Batman. What'd you think?
Spot on. Every character element, I felt like there was a strong performance from every single person.
What I liked about Batman or Ben Affleck was, and I did have this with Christian Bale as well, but I was just as interested in his Bruce Wayne as I was his Batman. Like, he did the detective work in the beginning,
Right.
and that was cool. Like, I kind of loved the first hour or so,
Right.
and Snyder even did kind of play it a bit by kind of how Nolan did it in his introduction to Batman. Like, he didn't really show him
Right.
in the suit for the first hour or
Right.
so, and then when he did, it was kind of in this what do you call it, the shipyard,
Right.
it's kind of similar in that. So I wondered how he was paralleling that a little bit.
They
but
made it a point to say it's an abandoned place.
yeah.
So there's no
yeah.
collateral damage.
Yeah.
You know, stuff
They said that like
little-
3 or 4 times just to clarify. That island's abandoned.
Yeah, this island's abandoned.
Not
There's no
inhabited.
way. We're just destroying decrepit old
Yeah,
buildings.
don't worry.
They'll probably get the insurance money. We're probably doing them a favor.
The next big question mark, I think, was Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. I really dug it.
Yeah.
I did.
He
I thought it was cool.
He definitely committed to that role or that character, and he didn't like sway like I want him to be sophisticated here and this
Right.
way over here. He stuck his claws into one specific ideal for that character, and he played it to completion the whole
And that's
entire
what you
time.
kind of have to do in a movie. Like,
That's what he did.
in a, because we're in this world where movies are TV shows now, and
Right.
you know they're serialized or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But in a movie that's 2 hours, 2.5 hours,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of want to find one facet and just explore that. And I think he definitely did that. And it was a good antagonist. Like
Yeah.
he made me kind of dislike him,
Right.
but also was entertained by him. I don't know.
Right.
I really enjoyed it.
What do you think about the hints for a future like the DC universe?
That was one of the, along with the editing, like I definitely see where they could have trimmed stuff down,
Right.
and that was one of the areas. Like it felt too shoehorned in there.
Yeah.
Like
I get that.
it was
Again-
like mini trailers
Yeah.
within the movie, and I feel like they could have done a more organic way, or they just
Yeah.
shouldn't have done it at all. Once again, we just got out IMAX screening Thursday night, packed house. It was enjoyable. It was entertaining. It was fun. There was probably a little too much CGI in the battles for me, but what are you gonna do when it's an alien
Yeah.
fighting a CGI creature? I don't know. But what would you go? What would you rate it with your initial
I'm
reaction?
gonna go 5 out of 5, but like I said,
What?
I was
You were
like-
gonna go into it anyway.
I mean, I didn't prejudge it and say
I'm gonna love this
hey,
movie.
just I might not film afterwards. Here's the 5 stars. Just
Yeah.
call it in. But like I knew I was gonna love it. I may be a little biased because Superman's my favorite. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So I mean, I had a great time with it.
Yeah,
What was the star rating?
I think I'm gonna go 4. Like I want to see it again. I can't tell if I'm excited to see it again or a little scared to see it again because it might come undone a little for me because
Yeah.
the editing was like the biggest issue I had with it. But I really enjoyed watching it. Like I was into it the whole time. So I would go 4 out of 5.
Cool.
All right. Well, thanks for checking out our show. Initial Reaction, you can definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel, Initial Reaction Reviews. Check back every week. We'll have a review of the latest, biggest release, and you can also check out my written reviews at www.reviewsfromabed.com. Thanks, and we'll see you next week.